Good evening. This is John live from the 9320 Group podcast. We just thought we'd do a quick, short podcast tonight regarding this ticketing situation. As a lot of you have known, a lot of people are upset about it due to the fact we're not actually getting a season card and it's all going mobile. We've got Paul Risby and Anne-Marie. Paul's actually talking to us from sunny Bulgaria. He is a season holder.
Sunny beach, sunny Bulgaria.
He's a
season balcony.
Aren't you?
Say again.
So you're not a foreigner?
No, definitely not. No, I spend 6 weeks of the year out here in the summer, but I'm looking to become a resident this year just to make it easier for me to get out here. It was a nightmare to get out this year.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got Anne-Marie who's with us all the time. Right. Let's get down to business. Basically, the club have said that we are not getting a season ticket this year. It is going mobile. You've both had a chance to look at it. Anne-Marie's already had some dealings with the club. And basically, we just need to see what your thoughts are on it.
I mean, to be honest with you, we've come across this sort of thing on European trips. So it's been easy for me because I've had you with me. So you've done all my stuff. I think the first time we've come across it over here was getting in the Everton game, the last game of the season. And to be honest with you, it was a nightmare. The guys on the turnstile eventually just opened them up and let everybody in because the machines weren't working, the scanners weren't working, QR codes weren't working. And we've just seen what happened at Wembley with people jibbing in, using the same QR code and getting hundreds and thousands of people in. For me personally, it's not going to be an issue. But for many, many others, it's going to be an issue and it's going to be a nightmare.
According to the club, the last home game when they tested it for the Everton game, it was a success.
Well, there's 10,000 there.
But we know it wasn't a success. We saw the queues. We got in early, but we saw pictures of the queues. There was way too long. And like you said, near the end, ready for kickoff, they were just letting them all in.
I was in the corporate bit for that. And to be honest with you, it was no better in there. Nobody knew what they were doing. In the end, they just opened the gate and let everybody in.
Yeah.
And it could have been anybody in there that game.
Yeah.
So if they're classing that as a success, our match day staff are turning into politicians because they're lying through the back teeth.
I can only see it causing major issues, if I'm honest, because obviously there's a lot of people that aren't tech savvy. But not only that, if we're going down the route of people being double jabbed and having to prove that as well, it's just going to cause absolute chaos pre-match.
For me, it's a bigger picture. This is the football aspect of it because we opt for that week in, week out. For me, this is a whole new regime of bringing identity cards in, vaccine passports. Eventually, this is leading to the ID card where it'll have our passport will be on it, our information, everything will be on it, will be microchipped, and this is the start of that for me. So the football side of it is one thing. It's going to be a whole new ball game in life. This is coming and it's here now, to be honest.
Yeah, quite possibly. One thing that's puzzling me regarding the double jab thing, why can they not incorporate it into the actual season ticket to say you are double jabbed? So you don't have to prove that. Once you scan, it knows you're already double jabbed.
Listen, they can't even get it on match day right normally. There's queues of people who their cards haven't scanned.
Yeah.
They've bought a ticket on the cup scheme and the ticket's not been loaded on. So that's been in place since the Etihad's been open. What's it going to be like with this newfound additions to it? I think the question is why are they actually doing it? You know, I've said just earlier, this is the start of, you know, putting us all on a single card for ID, passport, and everything. But if you know, I'd like to ask City the question: what are they actually doing this for? What are they gaining out of it?
I've been told it's purely money. That's what it's down to. But I think there's
Well, that's
I think there's
nonsense,
other things.
isn't it?
I think basically to stop people selling the tickets, they want them sold back to the club, and that way they can keep an eye on things and know who's in there, and also people aren't making profit on what they've already got. They can make the profit instead of us.
Yeah, but they could still do that, because I believe you can sign up to get your ticket, so you can print your ticket before you go. Which I know people are saying, oh, they haven't got a printer and blah blah blah. You can go in a post office or a corner shop and they'll print off. I know it shouldn't have to be done, but there are simple ways around it. So to me, it's more of a question why they're doing it. You know, if they're doing it to do that, then why are they giving us the option to print a QR code off, which you can just pass that QR code on to anybody?
But then what I think will probably happen is people going in with paper tickets will be asked for ID as well. And if the ID doesn't match, then I don't think you'll be getting in.
So what ID are you going to ask for, and where have they announced this?
Well, they haven't, but that's the next thing that's probably going to happen.
I mean, because
I'm not so sure about that, John, because obviously, you know, I go with my dad, and my dad's obviously a senior citizen, so his ticket is a lot less than mine, and yet I've given it to, you know, other people to come with me that aren't senior citizens. And even though it might flash a different colour when you scan the old previous season ticket, no one's ever questioned it.
No, it's normally too busy for them to. They don't notice most of the time. But this is a new era now, isn't it? It's a whole lot more stringent. The security is going to be more. They're going to be. It's like with the double jab thing. They're going to have to check everything, and it's going to be absolute manic. Trying to get into that game is going to be bedlam.
I'm glad I'm still over here while the season kicks off, and let the first few games get underway, because that's going to. Can you imagine it, trying to get in? First game of the season, everybody's excited, everybody's buzzing, everybody thinks they've done the right thing by getting this downloaded, getting that downloaded. We had it when we went to Portugal, John, didn't we?
Yeah.
And the stress involved in waiting to get a certain certificate come through. Have you brought the right certificate with you? And that's when people are sober. That's going through airports and stuff. Can you imagine when people have had a few beers and they're all stressed out? It's going to be carnage.
Yeah.
Well, you know, taking it forward, I think as the season goes on, like anything, people will kick a stink up about it. But at the end of the day, it'll become the norm and we'll all get used to it.
Oh, yeah.
Start to let everybody into the ground in the first game of the season, to me, is just, especially after Everton, is a nightmare. It's a joke, to be honest, and I'm glad I'm over here and not there, to be honest.
Yeah. Anne-Marie, City have actually said today that because people have been going on saying, oh, what if my phone goes flat? And they're actually going to be supplying charging points for your phone at the ground. They said, but you only have to use it if you really need it, which...
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen, don't you?
Oh. But, I mean, that to me, that's... If it's about money, then how much are these charging points, how much are they going to be costing and all the rest of it? It's absolute nonsense. It's nothing to do with money. It's trying to gain control of who's getting in the ground and the tickets and things like that. To me, the best way is just have non-electronic tickets and let it do the Peter Swales way, where you basically have a book of tickets and you show the book and you tear it off, and you're not going to give that book to any Tom, Dick, and Harry, are you?
No, you're not.
You know, you're not. You might give one piece, but you're not going to give the whole book. So let's go back to forget technology. Go back to the good old days. You have a book with your season ticket in. You have to show the book at the turnstile, give it in, and then in you go. There you go. Jobs are good.
You want to go
Sorted.
back to the old days when you used to collect the tokens out of the programme as well, don't you?
You know what? You're right, because then there'd be no messing about who's been to the match and who's done this, that, and the other. You have to go to the game to get a programme. None of this ordering it online and sending it out online. Let's do it the simple way. Sometimes technology helps when it's used correctly. But hey, sometimes let's go backwards. It works a little bit easier sometimes.
Well, during all this lockdown, it felt like everything went backwards, and it was bliss.
Exactly.
It was. Life was such a slow pace of life.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't, but
It suited me fine.
Yeah, it did.
I love going into a pub, sitting down at a table, and the drinks are brought over to me. Whenever I go on holiday, it's dead simple. I walk in, you don't stand at the bar, you sit down at a table, a waiter comes over and brings you drinks. There's no knocking drinks over, there's no fighting at the bar because somebody's got served before you. Life is bliss. The roads were quiet, everything.
I know.
Everything, mate. Go back to the old days with season tickets. A season ticket, it's much easier. There's no messing then. If you want to lend your mate, I sometimes let me call. If I can't get to a game for whatever reason, I try my utmost, but sometimes with running a business, I don't get to do it. I'll either give my friend or my family the ticket, or I'll let a customer. If I've got a customer who's a good customer, City fan, which I have many of, to be honest, I'll give them a ticket, let them go to the match because I trust them.
Yeah.
Now their name's not going to be on that ticket. How are they going to go on? Because there'll be other businesses that do exactly what I do, take different customers with them.
They've actually said today.
How's that going to work?
They said today that you can transfer your ticket to your friends and family, but they've actually got to be on your City account as friends and family.
So they have to be registered at Man City then?
Yeah.
I can't just add Joe Bloggs, one of my customers, onto that account for the day.
No.
He's got to have an account set up as a citizen, hasn't he?
Yep, he has. And
so,
if I remember right, they're actually bringing in now that you've got to have a match day membership, which costs £35.
Well, that's my customers not getting a ticket, and possibly if I can't get to the game, it's going to be an empty seat.
Yeah.
So we might become the empty head after all, eh?
Well, I think it's going to happen everywhere, that, mate. Because apparently the red side have gone this way as well this season.
Right. So I saw something on Twitter. I think an Everton fan was saying that they got an option.
Yes.
They could either have a digital card or a normal card, a season ticket, if you like.
£5 the option, yeah.
Yeah, you paid a £5 extra for it.
Yeah.
Well, why aren't we offering that?
Yeah, we should do.
But there's got to be another reason.
Because we left it too late. For me, if you look at most of the other clubs in the Premier League, they had all their renewals information out way before we did.
They're taking our money though already, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So we're basically paying for something that we don't really know about again.
Yeah.
This happens. Something seems to happen every year. For what fantastic stuff Man City do on the pitch. Their match day logistics, whatever you want to call it, is a total shambles.
The business side of it, regarding the fans, is a shambles. We've seen that on many occasions, and they've ended up backtracking at times because they think this is a good thing they're going to do, and then it just totally messes up. And
I don't know who they speak to. I mean,
well, it begs the question: what does this City Matters group do?
I don't know.
Yeah, what do they do? Because we never seem to hear nothing of it, do we?
We just seem to hear afterwards certain members of it saying, well, we wanted this to happen, but the club's done this.
Yeah.
We don't really hear anything before. Surely why don't City Matters people get in touch with us? Through social media or through anything. You never see City Matters getting in touch on social media saying, Blues, what are your thoughts on this? Or, having our email addresses. The club's got all our details. So,
Yeah.
Why don't City Matters do surveys?
Well, obviously it's what they think, and obviously City Matters. It's not, is it? It's actually the person who's in there that matters, and not the fans, obviously.
Yeah, I know a couple of the guys that are on the City Matters, and from what I gather, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but every time they want something, it doesn't really happen. Which is normally the way with these kind of committees.
Yeah.
I've been on a few myself, and you're basically paying lip service. You sit there, you give your opinion. They write a lot of notes and shake heads and nod heads, then go away, throw away the piece of paper they've just been writing on, and go and do what they wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, it's just to appease the fans, basically saying, "Oh, we've got this committee that look after you," and
no.
For them to look after us, they've got to listen to him.
Nobody in the right mind would okay what's going on with these tickets at the moment. Nobody.
Yeah.
Apart from some idiot at the club who's paid a lot more money than I am, has decided, some media corporate type will have decided that this is a great idea. All the book kiss people around him will go, oh yeah, Tarquin, this is a fantastic idea. Yeah, let's do this, let's do that. Let's throw 20k at this. Let's, they'll give it all that. Let's be thinking out of the box and have blue sky thinking and joined up thinking. They'll be using all them sort of bits of terminology. But when it boils down to it, the normal common Garden Day fan like me, you and Anne-Marie and everybody else pretty much who listens to this, are just going to sit there and go, what a load of twaddle that is. Who's come up with that idea?
Yeah. Well, there's people I know that I think, they struggle getting to games because of work, and they only do like 50% of the games, and normally they normally let other people go on the ticket. And they're thinking now, should I bother renewing next year?
Exactly. Well, there's plenty of things last year that annoyed a lot of people and the season before.
Yeah.
And again, this is something else. I say they're not interested in us because they know they've got us because we don't want to miss out. What they want is the fans coming in, the young fans who are spending loads of money in the shop. That's what they're after. So, i.e., the young fans are all tech savvy. They've all got the phones with the apps on and all the rest of it. It's not a problem to them. They'll come in, download it for one game, go around the shop, order all the food on their apps. They'll order all the drinks and all the shirts and everything. Pick them up at the end of the game, and then order a taxi from the phone, and then off they'll go to the airport back to China. Pretty much sums it up, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, it does. Something else I've heard as well. Basically, they've changed the bag law going into games now.
But you can't take your wife with you.
I knew that was coming. It's an A3 size bag only, and it can't be any thicker than 10 centimeters. So basically, you're talking the club shop carrier bag.
Yeah, and put a program in it.
Yeah, you're not allowed rucksacks. Apparently, if you take anything like that, you've got to put it in storage. It costs you £5 to store it, and you pick it up after the game.
I mean, to be honest with you, it doesn't bother me that because I've never took a bag to a game of football. But yeah, I can't really disagree with it because I've never used that facility. And to be honest with you, I've seen people taking bags in and packed lunches and everything. And
yeah,
I don't know why they have to take a bag. So to be honest with you, I agree with the club on that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna maybe disagree with you there because not that I take a bag, not unless I happen to be going out straight from the game.
Yeah,
and I take it's not a big bag, and it's just so I can put my phone and my wallet in there. So you know. But the people that are taking drinks and that in with them, I do kind of understand why they're doing it, because you're getting ripped off.
Yeah.
Buying food and drink at City, you're getting totally ripped off. It's ridiculous that you pay, you know, £2.50 for a bottle of water.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. You know, it's not everyone can afford to do that. If you've got a family going to a game, it's not that cheap, is it?
No. I completely agree with that. I mean, you know, the prices of the food in there are absolutely ridiculous. And I've always said this: if they actually brought the prices down, they'd increase the turnover and make more profit. Because people just don't bother. I don't buy a drink in the ground anymore, purely because it takes too long to get served, and it's the prices are ridiculous. You know, I think it was at did we go to the Tottenham game the in the cup, the first game at the new stadium?
Yeah.
Well, they had like water fountains, didn't they? That you could fill a bottle up with, didn't they? So, I mean, it was free. I thought that was. I mean, obviously with COVID now, it might be a bit of a nuisance, but moving forward, I thought what a fantastic gesture that is, that you've got, you know, little water fountains or little machines that you could dispense free water. I mean, water anywhere around the world should be free. You know, you shouldn't have to pay for water.
No.
Come on. You know, taking their own food in and things. Yeah, I get that. But City need to look at a lot of things. And do you think
they've lost sight of the everyday fan?
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
all of this.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I remember I used to go to the main road and you get a cone of chips, or you get pie and peas or something like that, you know. And it wasn't expensive. It's cheap food, isn't it? You're not there to have gourmet meals. I'm not interested in all that. And anybody that wants that, they need to go corporate. All I want is a cold pint. You know, I'm not even bothered whether it's, you know, I'm not a member of Canberra. I don't want anything flash. Pour the pints at just before half time for me. You know, I'm not bothered whether it's freshly poured or not. Not interested. If they made it £1.50 a pint, they'd sell more of them. Food, burgers. How expensive are burgers? It's one of the cheapest food out there. I don't want any fancy food. Just want a piece of burger or a sandwich or something. You know, £1's worth. They seem to do all right at Asda and Tesco's with their sort of meal deals. You know, they're cheap as chips. Not everybody wants a burger. Just get a pre-packed sandwich. It's the food that they could sell, the money they could make is ridiculous. But because they outsource it, they get away with saying, "Well, it's nothing to do with us. We'll put it towards our food partners." Well, no, you employ them. You give them the contract. So the club is saying you set up in our stadium and do what you want. Well, no, that's not the case. They've got a duty of care to us fans, and they're not doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's not rocket science, is it?
I can't understand the business side of it that I think of, and
you own a business, John. I own a business. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm not sure what you do. So, but you know, they don't speak to normal business people who have to deal with normal members of public. They seem to just think that everything's corporate, and we're not. You know, dealing at corporate level and dealing at normal human being level, like me and you do, John, is a different ball game altogether. It's a different ball game, and they've completely lost touch with the common man and woman, obviously.
Anyway, question for you: if they're saving all this money with season tickets and everything, why are ours not cheaper then?
Exactly. It's not money, is it?
You know what I mean? Because if they're saving, say, even if it's £10 a supporter, surely they should not have £10 off your season ticket because you're not getting one.
You think so? Well, put it this way, John. I've got the same cards that they use for City to get in and out. I've got them on my security at the garage, right? On my entry to get in and out. Them cards, you can buy them on eBay not obviously they're not printed up, but it's the same card, well, same technology card,
Yeah.
and you can buy 1,000 of them for about £2.50.
Yeah, I know.
You know, them swipe cards are the cheapest you can get. The cheaper than printing paper tickets. They're the cheapest you can get. So they're not saving any money whatsoever. Money is not the issue. And if they say it is the issue, they are lying to us.
Yeah.
And I want to know why they're doing it.
Well, all I can get off so far is I know somebody who works at the club all he said to me, it's down to money. And that's
Rubbish.
all. I know. I think it's rubbish.
Absolute rubbish.
Anyway, this was supposed to be a quick podcast tonight.
Hey, we talked about food or everything. Our favourite subjects, John.
I know. Never mind. Right, I think we'll end it on that one anyway. And we need to get this out and see what people think of it. And because I'm not in agreement with it, you're not in agreement with it.
No, I mean, listen, I've got a foot in two camps on it, to be honest. One is you sort of think, you know, all these people are saying, "Oh, I haven't got a printer, I haven't got this, I haven't got that." To me, it's not that difficult for a lot of people, and a lot of people are putting obstacles in the way, which is normal. We all do that.
Yeah,
we all do that. When something,
that's what it is.
When something new comes along, oh, it's never going to catch on. That's rubbish. This new, you know, bloody ringing up for food. God, who's going to do that? Who's going to pay to have food delivered to your house?
Yeah,
we're doing it. It's normal now. Yeah. Every time new technology comes out, you know, everybody moans about it, and then it becomes normal. Credit cards, when they first came out, you know, and it's, you know, where we are with those. Yeah. So I know we can't please everybody, but what we need to do is, I feel the easiest way is just, if you want the technology on your phone, great, because some people love that. If you're old-fashioned, give them an old-fashioned season ticket. Cater for everybody. They say they're all inclusive. Cater for everybody, but make it best for everybody.
Next question.
But that's the thing for me. They've lost sight of the fact that they actually don't have that young a fan base. It's actually an aging fan base, and how many of the people that are going are over a certain age that don't have the modern technology.
Yeah. And them same people have been going to the game for 50, 60 years and will take a flask in and have a coffee of their own brew at half time. That's what they do. Yeah. So who am I to say that they can't do that? You know, I see some old fellas, you know, going to the game. They've been going for years and years and years, but longer than I've been on the planet. And their tradition is they take a flask in. They'll take the wife will make them some sandwiches and a little pat lunch, and they'll go to the football. Whether you agree with it or you laugh at them or you don't agree with it, that's what they do. And who am I to turn around and say they can't do that?
Does that mean that Pete can't take his little casing anymore?
Who's that?
Does that mean City Pete can't take his little casing anymore?
Exactly. They're going to stop City Pete. There'll be a riot, mate.
Yep, I'm telling you they will.
You take City Pete's case off him, there will be riots. They thought Wembley was bad.
Anyway, we'll finish it at that, mate.
On that note.
Speak to you soon.
Cheers. Okay. Take care.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.